Hi everyone, we're now going to do challenge 3 for the adventures of Fifi. Now for challenge 3, this is one of the more tricky ones, but it's great fun because we're going to get to change how Fifi looks as she visits different places around the world. Now the first thing I'm going to show you is, if I click on the Fifi sprite and go to costumes, you'll notice there's already 2 costumes provided. There is Fifi and then there is also Fifi New York. So we're going to use these 2 sprites. Now, of course, you can create your own, and we'll come to that a little bit later in this demonstration. So let's go back to code and let's get started with when Fifi goes to New York, she changes costume. So let's do what we've done in all the other challenges. Let's grab the really handy when green flag clicks. We could just keep this as a separate kind of process to think about. Now, really importantly, we need to change Fifi's costume to be the original Fifi when the game starts. And that may be obvious, but if we stopped the game halfway through and replayed it and Fifi had changed, it would go back to that change one, the last one we were on. So it's really important to set it back to kind of our default, the first one called Fifi. Now what we're going to need to do is we need to check if Fifi has kind of gone to New York. And I said the word if there, which is quite useful because we need an if block to be able to check this. So I'm going to do if, and I need to use a sensing block because I need to check if Fifi touches North America. So if this sprite touches North America, which is our Statue of Liberty here, then we can make those necessary changes. Okay. However, in this situation, we also want to change her back if we don't go over North America. So what we're going to do is I'm going to replace this if block with an if else block instead. I just wanted to make that clear so you understand we're coming to the else block later. So if we're touching North America, I want Fifi to change the way that she looks. So she's going to switch to costume, Fifi New York, which was selected. But if she's not touching that and she moves away, then we need Fifi to change back to the original costume, which is Fifi. Okay, now at the moment, this won't work quite as we're hoping because this is checking right as soon as we press the green flag. And we want the program to be checking this constantly as Fifi is flying around. So it's really important to grab a forever block, drop this inside. So now we're forever checking if Fifi is touching the North America sprite, which is the Statue of Liberty. Let's give this a go, shall we? See if it works. I'm going to click on the flag. I'm going to move Fifi around. I'm going to hover over North America. And you can see a very subtle change, but she has superhero glasses appear when she goes over New York. And then it goes back from the else statement when she leaves New York. Now, if you wanted to make your own costumes, of course you can do this. Probably the best way of doing that is right-clicking on the costume sprite and going to duplicate. And then you can draw what you want over Fifi and rename it. So you could have superhero pants, for example, on one of the Fifi sprites. Of course, there are 6 different places to visit. So if you wanted to, you could create 6 different versions of Fifi, or you could use 3 of the areas, and you know, you could just create 2 different sprites that way. We could just use the 2 we've got. So entirely up to you. Explore the use of the different costumes, explore creating more if statements. So if you wanted to sense if we're touching another location, you can just duplicate this if statement inside this forever loop and just change the values in that.